Here are 5 reasons why you shouldn't date single moms. The number 1 reason why you shouldn't date a single mother is that she's made some really bad choices. You have to look at someone's past and the decisions that they've made in the past and say to yourself, this is a predictor of the decisions and the quality of the decisions that they're going to make in the future. In other words, if you get involved with a single mother who has already shown bad judgment, you won't be high on her list of priorities. You can't expect anything but frustration, manipulation, and problems from a single mother. The third reason you shouldn't get involved with single moms is that they're going to have money problems. She's going to make bad decisions and not care about anyone else in her life. I don't know how anyone could be surprised by this, but she will have money problems. I'm hoping that by now you guys can see some of the other issues. It's not a question of whether or not you have enough money to live within your means. It's a question of whether or not you can control yourself and then discipline yourself. If you can do those 2 things, you can make money. But if you can't do those 2 things in that order, it doesn't matter how much money you have. I think if you're going to be a successful trader, you need to take some risk. The key is not what could happen, but what will happen. What will happen is that there are always winners and losers. I hope that makes it clear that this is the whole picture and that we could learn something from it. The single mother has messed up her life because she didn't think about the long-term effects of what she did. Now she has a child, but she can't raise it, support it, or give it a better life. Saying that we as a society have to be compassionate about this is like saying that you feel sorry for people who do stupid things instead of caring about the people who do stupid things. I mean, that should have been a huge clue. If a single mother is a feminist, it's like she's done something really stupid that someone else will have to pay for. No, it's not. She's done something really stupid that she's going to deal with herself. I'm sorry that people have to be taught what feminism is, but if they choose not to learn it and still think that feminism is about getting free stuff from men, then no one can help them. A lot of people just don't know what feminism is. They need to be taught. You can teach them by being simple and clear about what feminism is. And for your example, it was already explained in the introduction paragraph of this post that it's trying to end sexism and give everyone equal rights in society. But now you're doubling down and you can't even say, maybe I could use a decent man. No, she can't do it. These are signs of a person's character and judgment, and it's like looking at a sword. It could be a really expensive sword or even a famous sword, but you need to look at how it was made, how it looks, what it's been through, and you need to be able to see inside of it. You need to be able to see the age of it. You need to be able to see the metal that is on it. And then you can start trying to figure out what type of sword it is. It only matters if these things show what they are, and that's what you work with. It's not even just someone's intention. It's more than that, because we can tell what your intention is by your results. This isn't always the case though, because we have to be aware of your situation. For example, if a woman is having children and the man goes to war, maybe she did make a good choice. I think that I know what your intention is for the woman who chose to have children. It's a pretty nuanced question, but I think it's about what you've created in the world and how you thought about that. What is your world? What does your life look like? And who are the people around you? These things matter because they create our intentions. The intention of someone who's going to war could be different than the intention of someone who is staying home and taking care of her family. What are your intentions? How much time do you spend at the office? What kind of hours do you work? How often do you go to the gym or exercise every day? All answers to these questions matter because they create our actions. For this reason, in my opinion, the MGTOW path is the only route that a guy can choose that may be considered honorable. I don't necessarily agree with the notion that a man needs to establish his way before he can be with anyone else. Some men could say that this means that he has no interaction with women, but I don't think that's necessarily the case. In any event, I think that following in the footsteps of women or the MGTOW is the incorrect way to proceed, since women do not respect that. And what we are currently witnessing is the women's disgust and loathing for the males in their lives. It's like, well, there's the price of virtue because you've got virtue, and we're looking at it from that point of view. And that's exactly what's happening right now with men. What I mean by this is when people without virtue use the call of virtue on somebody who has virtue to manipulate them. If the principles that they are telling you to explain your sacrifice were real, then why didn't they hold to them in the first place? If those principles are being used to excuse your sacrifice, then they must be true. When you're dealing with a single mother, you're dealing with someone incapable of having self-discipline, and the presence of this is your major group. Therefore, this is what you have to deal with. They cannot also make plans in advance. They are approaching it from a realistic perspective, that of a mother raising her child alone. They are considering it from the perspective of being able to pay the expenses for the following month. Think about what I'm trying to say. They want you to become a part of this social group so that you can become dependent on them and a member of that group. This is the social group that they want you to join. You might be wondering yourself, are you arguing that an individual ought to be required to take responsibility for what they eat, what they do, and who they sleep with? I'm advocating for total individual responsibility, but I am also conscious of the fact that people find themselves in the circumstances that they do. These women are not our partners, spouses, wives, or girlfriends. Rather, they attack in the appeal of the virtue of civilization to take care of their wants, which is a sin. Because our nation is doomed, we are taking care of all of these single mothers and all of these feminists' children's wants and needs. However, these women are not our partners, spouses, wives, or girlfriends. Let's extrapolate this comparison of the single mother to the national level, shall we? I think you all understand what I'm trying to say about staying away from single mothers, and I think it's a great metaphor for what we as a nation, a country, and a civilization are doing in enabling a nation. A civilization of single mothers and feminists who use guilt and an appeal to the virtue of people, even though they do not live and operate by that virtue themselves. I think you all get what I'm trying to say about staying away from single mothers. I'm referring to other people who have been wronged by fate, but who also possess that virtue. If you help these people, you help change the world, which is exactly what we should be doing and why we should be doing it. That's all. Hope you like the videos. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you all soon.